could qualify for a back or knee brace at little or no charge. I have an old injury from my football playing days, and anything that can help take that pain away and make it more manageable, that has my attention. I love the free delivery, and they take care of the paperwork for you. So if you have Medicare and need help for back, ankle, knee, or shoulder pain, please call the Health Alert Hotline at 800-428-1570. That's 800-428-1570. Agents are standing by 24/7, so go ahead and call now. 800-428-1570.
Welcome, folks, to Fifth Street Sports. I'm Frank Perez, and I will be joined with my co-host, Florida Rick. We are on Sports Byline USA Radio Network. You can catch us on the American Forces Network. We're also on iHeartRadio, streaming on Facebook and YouTube. By the way, on Facebook, it's Fifth Street Sports Fifth Street Sports /FifthStreetSports.com. Anyways, Rick, nice to see you, buddy. We got a great show. I think we're going to talk a little bit about Tim Donahue. We're going to go into the little Machado signing for $300 million. We got some real good picks. We hope Joey Casano comes on. He's been red hot. How's your day going out there in South Florida, brother?
Yeah, pretty good. I was listening to the show yesterday. I didn't get a chance to come on, but I know overall I had a good night, and Joey's pick was really good, which I agreed on, was Eastern Michigan plus the points, so outright winner against Toledo. And so I think I was 3-1. Joey 1-0. I think, unfortunately, Oklahoma Brian gave out a couple duds, but he's been really hot, especially on his HBCU games. And his Big 12 games are usually pretty solid, but I guess, yesterday he missed out on a couple plays. Yep,
yesterday for the whole combination of all of us with Joey, it was 4-3. The day before 5-2. So we are 9-5 for the week. Respectable. We got some good stuff today. I like a couple games, a couple totals anyways, but that we'll give out in the third segment. And, boy, I can't wait till the first segment. We dig into this Tim Donahue's, everything that's been brought out with this. This guy was, well, let's just wait for the third segment because I know you're pretty plugged in on him. And we're going to see just what this guy was up to for $2,000 a game. Wow.
Oh, Frank, I wasn't on yesterday. I didn't get a chance to talk about it, but wow, how about some exciting soccer games we had yesterday, huh?
Oh, yeah, they almost scored. There was two games, and there was almost a score.
There was almost a goal in one of the games?
There was almost a score. Yeah, can you believe it?
I'm not sure if I would have been able to stay awake, but
it looked like a Dunkin' Donuts advertising, just nothing but donuts on the board. 0-0-0-0. But and like Juventus, I don't even think has scored yet. Thank God for Schalke and Man City. That's 2-1. Folks, we got to take a timeout. This is Fifth Street Sports, back in 3 minutes.
Want to fly somewhere? Looking for cheap flights or cheap tickets? Then call. That's right. Call the low-cost airline travel hotline now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. Low-cost airlines has all kinds of cheap travel deals. Fly domestically and save up to 75%. You can even fly internationally and save even more. Yes, fly anywhere in the world and save a lot of money on your plane tickets. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. So don't book your tickets until you call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on U.S. and international airline tickets and hotels. Call right now for prices so low they can't be published. Travel experts are here 24/7 to help. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
A major data breach just exposed millions of Americans to a crime that could cost you your home. Here's retired FBI agent Art Fitzenmeyer for Home Title Lock.
Title fraud is one of the fastest growing crimes. And in a moment, I'll tell you how to find out if you're already a victim. Home mortgage files are kept online now, and breaches like this could put you at risk of losing your home. If you have a home loan through a major bank, your mortgage and private data may have been stolen. Scammers forge documents stating you sold your home. Then they'll take out loans on your property and stick you with the payments. You won't know until late payment notices show up or you get evicted. And no bank, insurance, or identity theft programs protect you. For pennies a day, Home Title Lock protects you from title fraud. Now here's how to find out if you're a victim.
Go to HomeTitleLock.com and register for your title scan and report. $100 value free with sign up. Visit HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully. Take this number down. 800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
All right, folks, we're back. This is Fifth Street Sports on Sports Byline USA Radio Network. We're also on iHeartRadio, streaming on Facebook and YouTube. You can get us at Twitter at Fifth Street Sports. Well, Rick, just guess what? During the break, Joey just came in on his game, which we're going to keep for the third segment. Sunday we didn't have a show where I would have put up Joey's 3 picks. He goes 3-0, so he's 5-0 in the last 5 games that he has sent us. So, folks, stay tuned. We're going to give that one out along with all of Rick's good stuff. Anyways, Rick, let's get to something really interesting. This referee, Donahue, finally just came out, how much he was getting and what his win ratio was. What do you think about this guy?
Well, what a story, Frank. We all knew about it for many years, but now the whole story comes out, and it's just a massive blockbuster story. I don't know if you've had a chance to read it. It came out on ESPN a couple days ago, and it's just been the talk of sports radio over the last couple days. And wow, this turned into such a much bigger thing than we ever thought it was, and it was going on for much longer than we ever suspected. Yeah. I thought it was maybe going on for a year or so. No idea this is going on for over 4 years, and Donahue was betting his games for 4 years, and that's why it became such a big deal, because so many people got in on it.
4 years, boy. The only thing I regret is that we weren't able to spy or tap into one of his accounts. Could you imagine? I mean, what was he hitting at, an 88% rate?
That's what it says in the article. Yeah, when he bet his games, he was hitting at 88%, and yeah, there were accounts linked to him, and obviously the people he was dealing with, and they would only bet Donahue games. So it was. The fact that it took so long for this whole thing to get uncovered is truly mind-boggling when you think about it. Because after the first year, there became so many more people. And in the beginning, it was Donahue getting like a $2,000 free roll on games that he refed, and then the guys would be betting out maybe $10,000, and then it became obviously much bigger. And then of course people that worked, friends of these people, or people that worked in the sports books, had these accounts. They would see that they would only bet select NBA games, and they would always win. And so, of course, they'd be betting them out. So if they bet 5,000, they'd bet it out for a couple 100,000, and then these books would in turn see it, and at some point they would start betting these out and so you get starting just millions, tens and tens of millions of dollars bet on Donahue games, and that's why you'd see these crazy line moves, which. I'd love to go back and see, like Don Best sports options back in like 2004, 2005, 6, and see these moves on games. It would almost be like the same thing as if LeBron James, or at the time, say Shaq was announced out, where a line would go from -3 to to -8.5, or -8 to +2 or something like that, and yet these would be line moves happening without any kind of major injury information.
Yeah.
And how, and you're thinking, like, how could they get away with that for so long? Because that just doesn't exist, especially in the NBA, but it doesn't even exist in college for that matter without a major injury. So the fact that they were able to get away with it for 4 years is just truly astounding. I'm just shocked by rereading this article. And I've read it a few times, and I just can't believe what I'm reading. And I can't believe we didn't notice it back in the day. Because we would see all the line moves whenever there were big injuries. But to think now, there were really some 4.5, 5-point line moves on games that didn't have any kind of information. That's just, something's wrong with that. And how were the authorities not alerted earlier? That's my question.
Now, did he was he in every game that he reffed he was involved in, or some he actually did it on? Some he actually didn't have any shenanigans going, or did he actually fix every game or try to fix every game?
Yeah, from what the article's saying, it's pretty much once he started, he just is every single one of his games he would bet on. So you're talking about 4 years of games where he would be, I'm thinking NBA referees probably, on average, I'm not sure, but I'm guessing they probably ref for an average of 70, 75 games a year. So maybe it's a little low, maybe it's 60 or so. But so you're figuring he bet between 50 to 75 games a year. It's just mind-boggling, the amount of money that this was, being turned around here. Offshore in Vegas, obviously local bookies, especially in the New York, Philly area, which is where all this was evolving, because he's from Philly and all these people involved were Philly guys. So, all the local books were, getting hit, and then they'd start betting out, and then they'd bet out. It was like a never-ending cycle. Yeah. And somehow we just never got alerted to it.
You know what's scary though? Like in all of the games, let's say for instance he had a game over. He needed over that night. Some of the games that all of a sudden everybody was already hitting in the first and second quarter, he didn't even need to mess with those, because some were going to naturally go over with or without him, or under. You know what I mean? Or if he was he was always on totals though, right? He didn't do sides.
From what I gathered, I thought he was pretty much always on sides.
Oh, on sides.
Yeah, he would always bet a certain team. I don't see anything that he was betting any kind of totals.
Oh, I thought it was totals. He was calling unnecessary fouls, technicals.
Well, he was, but strictly on one team, and that's why when you look back and you see the box scores on these games, you'd see like fouls called, Donaghy fouls called 24 fouls on one side, 5 on the other. Plus, he would call 3 technicals on this team, as well as a few illegal defenses. So, how is that not uncovered from the very beginning? Maybe not the very beginning, but at least the first 6 months or so. How do you not see that when the fouls are going at anywhere from a 3 to 6 to 1 ratio that he's calling on one side? Plus, he was calling fouls when he was standing at half court on guys like posting up in the low block, and the referees on the floor by the basket, they weren't calling it, but somehow he is there from half court calling these fouls, and the NBA never caught onto this. It's just I still will never understand that, because you think they'd be so looking at all the stats of all the referees every night and examining them to make sure there's no inconsistencies or nothing out of the ordinary, and then every single time he does a game, this guy's calling 20 fouls on one side and 5 on the other, along with a few technicals. So something's not going to be adding up.
Yeah, and then, but see, then there's other ways to do it. Like, okay, for instance, let's say he had Phoenix +7. That was his side that he needed. Well, a lot of times Phoenix goes out there to a big lead naturally. You know what I mean? He doesn't really need to play with that game. That game he didn't need to get involved in that game. And then if he was really smart, if Phoenix was like +7 and they're leading by 14 on the natural, he could start calling some fouls against Phoenix just to make it look good.
Yeah, I have no doubt he actually did that on certain games, and I'm sure not every single game was 3 or 4 to 1 fouls, because there are those situations where, like you said, the team may be a 5-6 point dog and they're off to a double-digit lead, where he knows he's pretty safe. So if they start making a run, he'll make sure right away to kill it by calling an unnecessary foul. And his big thing was immediately getting the team star player in foul trouble. So
Right.
he would right away start calling fouls on Shaq or LeBron James or whoever the star player. He would go out of his way to call fouls in the first few minutes of a game and try to get them like 2 fouls within the first 6 minutes, so they'd have to sit for the next 9 minutes or so. That was his big thing.
But some of these guys are really so unintelligent and greedy and stupid that you would just think on the natural, on the games that the team takes to lead, he doesn't have to mess with it. And if they take off to a really big lead, he could have even got himself some cover and started calling bad fouls against them just to keep the flow of just to get himself some cover when he's going to need it. Like half the time he doesn't even really need to get involved. That team is going to win. You know what I mean? Well, but not a blowout. I can see if he's got a lot of big money, he could. But boy, imagine that. I mean, an NBA referee, the money that they're making, he's got a great job and everything. He starts on $2,000 free rolls. Then I don't know what they move him up to $5,000 or $10,000, and then he ends up doing what 4 to 6 years in federal prison.
Actually, no, I looked it up, and he was only in prison for 15 months. He got supervised probation after that for 3 years, but in federal prison, he only served 15 months, which really surprised me. I thought he was in there for at least 3 years, but no, I was off. It was only 15
All right,
months.
Rick, we got that little commercial, folks. We got to take a time out. We'll be back. A little Manny Machado here, signing for $300 million. Back in 3 minutes. Fifth Street Sports.
Attention business owners. Are you struggling while waiting for your customers to pay on their net 30, 60, or 90-day invoices? Can't get a business loan? Have no equity? Bad credit? Or maybe no credit at all? Then you need to call AmeriFactors right now. AmeriFactors will give you cash for your invoices and there's nothing to pay back. We simply buy your account receivables, and if those clients don't pay on the invoices, we take the loss. We give you funds based on your account receivables, not your credit, and 98% of all applicants are approved. It's that simple. With AmeriFactors, there's no more waiting for your customers to pay. We give you the funds up front, then we wait for your customers to pay us. Fund your business today. Call AmeriFactors right now.
800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. That's 800-847-1183.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But The Secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517.
Being a new parent means every high and low you can imagine. But Evos can make it all easier with a baby monitor you can trust. Go to myevos.com. That's MYEVOZ.com to see how Evos can be the eyes and ears of your nursery. Evos works with your smartphone to provide a live audio and HD video connection to your baby anytime and anywhere. On a date, at work, away on business, even serving your country overseas, Evos helps you never miss a moment. Whether your baby is with a sitter, your partner, a grandparent, or a friend, you'll be right there too. And with unique features like smart alerts that know the difference between a barking dog and your baby crying, extensive sleep tracking data, and state-of-the-art security features for your peace of mind, Evos is the smart baby monitor for connected parents. And enter the code SPORTS at checkout for $20 off. That's myevos.com. MYEVOZ.com.
Welcome back, folks. Fifth Street Sports. I'm joined with my co-host, Florida Rick. I'm Frank Perez. We're on Sports Byline USA Radio Network. And Rick, on this one, let's just talk.
Let me interrupt you real quick, Frank. We actually got a message in from through our Fifth Street Sports live chat on youtube.com/Fifth Street Sports from Daniel Wages. He's saying, I know an offensive coordinator in the NFL and a player on a college basketball team. I would never take that risk personally for their careers. The NFL guy wouldn't talk anyway, just to avoid this. When we talk, football is rarely mentioned.
Wow. See, that's the way it's supposed to be. The guy's supposed to have integrity. I mean, this guy on NBA, I'm just sad that we weren't able to tap into this guy's accounts and see what he was betting, Rick. We would have made a fortune.
There were so many accounts out there when you look back on it,
Yeah.
And they weren't able to hide it because there was just too much money being bet, and that's why these lines were moving so many points for every game. And so supposedly the line movement for every Donahue game was just outrageous. Like if you go back and look at the Don Best archives, you're going to see just crazy line movement. And it would be bet both ways because some people would be speculating which way it was going to be bet. Some people would be putting up fake money to get down, real money at other places. So there was just insane line moves supposedly from what I'm reading and hearing on these games. And yeah, we definitely missed the boat. I wish I could travel back in time about 13, 14 years.
Hey, well, but
find some of these accounts.
One thing's for sure, we got our question answered. You know how we talked about how many wins, let's say a Machado or a Harper would have meant to a team's season win totals? All right, so Westgate, the Padres were 73.5 was their win total. Machado signs, and what does it go to, Rick? 76.5?
It went to 76.5, so it moved up 3 full wins. And we had this discussion a few weeks back about, and you asked me like how much Bryce Harper wins would mean for a team, and I think I said 4 to 5 wins would be probably as much as it would go up if he signed with a random team. And sure enough, Machado signs and it goes up 3 wins. I think Harper would probably fall in the same category, maybe depending on the team too, because if it's already like a super team, say the Red Sox or Yankees, it wouldn't move up as much as if it's just like a random team like the Padres or White Sox, for example, would definitely move up more. So I think you got to take that into account. But I think the average now we see is probably going to be 3 to 4 wins for a superstar player on just a random team.
Right. Like when you get a team, like if let's say the Astros are 97.5, it might go to 98.5, 99. You know what I mean? Now you get a team like if he was on the Tigers, okay, what is it, 67? They might go to 71. But I got to tell you one thing. Now that so besides what I think is absolutely ridiculous, $300 million for 10 years in baseball, I think the Padres bought themselves a huge headache. I know that. Why would you spend an extra $30 million a year to go from 73 to 76.5 projected wins? You're not going to make the playoffs anyways. It's like we were talking earlier on the show. It's more like chumming or bait just to get more serious players or players that really believe that the organization's going to want to win because they signed him. So they have a better draw at that. But I still think it's ridiculous. But, Rick, I wanted to talk about some season win totals. I was just looking at some of the first projections. Here's my one that stands out so much. I love it. I love this one. The Detroit Tigers under 67. I think that has to be one of the best plays on the board.
Yeah, they're going to be really bad this year, and I can't think of one team who's going to be worse than them. The
Orioles,
benefit to them. Yeah, that's true. You're right. The Orioles, my bad. But yeah, so you think about it, and the one good thing they have going for them is they don't play in a tough division. They pretty much have the Indians, and then you got the White Sox, Royals, and Twins. So you got basically 4 bottom feeders all in one division. Barring some sort of epic comeback from one of these teams that we're just not in tune to right now. But most likely you have 4 of probably the worst top 8 or 10 worst teams in baseball all in the same division. So they got that going for them. But other than that, yeah, it's going to be hard to see how they reach 70 wins. Well, 68 wins, I guess, for that matter. But I would like to see, do you know what the Orioles team total is? Because obviously they know how bad they were.
Yeah, I started pulling this out because here's my second best pick that I like. Okay, I like the Tigers under. Now, don't laugh or anything because I think that this team is going to be coming back. I really like these Kansas City Royals over. I'm shopping for their best win total as we speak, but I like the Royals to bounce back and go over in this one. Yeah, here it is. Okay, the Royals ended up with 55 wins last season, which was bad. Okay, the odds makers have made them at 69. I think that the Royals easily get to 75, 78 wins this year. I'm going to take them over. I'm taking the Tigers under. So far, that's my really two plays that I'm shipping it in on. I'm not yet sure. I'm going to make a few projections. I should have about 6 or 8 of them. But those two I like. Those two I really, really like.
I haven't actually seen win totals because none of the offshores offer them yet. I guess the Westgate does, but none of the offshores. I'm looking right now at odds to win the World Series, and surprisingly, the Orioles are not the longest shot to win the World Series. Do you know who is the longest shot?
God, the longest shot to win the world. What's got to be it just has to be the Tigers, right?
No, the Tigers are actually are above the Orioles. The Orioles are 900 to 1. Tigers are 375 to 1. So
1,000 to 1.
Although there's no one, but there's one team that's 1,000 to 1 to win the World Series.
Gosh, 1,000 to 1. Okay, as we speak, because we got to keep the thing talking. 1,000 to 1 to win it.
Well, I actually got another message in, guys, from Mr. Daniel Wages again. He's saying, with the Braves' young pitching staff and a lack of a closer, what do you guys think the Braves' total should be? 92?
Ooh, that's a big total there, Daniel. 92. I think the Dodgers last year were 94.5. I'm not sure. 92 is a big win, even though I do like the Braves. I think the Braves are going to be big-time contenders in the National League.
The Braves are surely trending in the right direction.
Daniel,
Andrew,
bring that up again. What did he say about that? I got the 90. What did he say,
he
Rick?
thinks he's asking if it should be 92, their season win total. I don't know the answer, what Westgate is using, but my guess would be probably closer, a little bit lower. I would guess about 89.5 or so.
That's yep, 89.5 to 90, Daniel. That's what we put it at. 92 is really, really huge. I know the Astros are going to probably be, 97.5, Rick? That's going to be
somewhere
the highest.
In that range, yeah.
That's going to be the highest.
Maybe even 98.5 or so. But
wow.
Yeah, obviously Yankees and Red Sox are going to be really high, but of course they have that tough division with each other, and Tampa, who's a really solid team. Blue Jays are always tough. They get a lot of free wins against Baltimore, but everyone else in that division is pretty tough. So
all right, so I gave up. The Orioles are 900 to 1. Who could be worse than that, Rick? You gotta.
Well, at Chris at least, the Marlins are 1,000 to 1 to win the World Series, and we know the Marlins are rebuilding, and the Marlins are pretty much, they even got rid of their top player, Real Muto, so they're pretty much refielding a minor league roster, which Cheater wanted to do. He wanted to tear down the team and rebuild it from the ground up and kind of pull what the Astros did a few years ago, and they're hoping in 2 or 3 years they'll be kind of like the Astros are now. I don't know if they'll be that good, but at least that's what they're trying to do. And I think at this point that's what the team should be doing. Either you want to be contending or you want to be at the bottom, rebuilding and start stocking up with all these young players and minor leaguers, eventually building them into a top-notch team with a low salary, and everyone's going to try to follow the Astros mold. So I think that's the right thing to do. As much as the locals don't like it, but you don't want to be stuck in the middle forever. That's a really bad thing, because you're never going to be moving up. When you're in that mode with like veterans, it's not necessarily great veterans, but just adequate veterans along with a bunch of young players. You're never going to get over that hump. But if you tear it all down, and it's kind of the 76ers did it in basketball, the Astros in baseball, Oakland's always like that in baseball, just like Cleveland Browns did that in football. I think that's going to be what teams are going to be striving for over the coming decade.
Yep, and the reason this year, usually every sportsbook has long time ago already had their season win totals up. It's because of this nightmare with all these unsigned free agents. Harper's going to go to the Phillies. I would bet anything in the world he goes to the Phillies. The only other team, well, who was pissed that Machado went to the Padres was the White Sox owner.
The funny thing is, the White Sox actually offered Machado more money. They offered him an 8-year deal for $250, but they say had the option for a couple more years, and they said with incentives and so forth, he probably would have ended up with $340 million over 10 years. So he actually would have gotten more money to go to the White Sox, but I guess he just feels that, number one, San Diego is a better place to live, which I agree with him there, but also that, they might be building something in San Diego where maybe he feels that the White Sox aren't really going anywhere. And,
right.
Unfortunately, they need a couple players to get them over that hump to actually, to cross that bridge and actually get into the next level. And the White Sox just, I root for them because they're kind of like lovable losers in a sense, but I don't see anything good happening for them for a while.
Yeah. I can't wait to see. Now, I know that Harper's going to sign with the Phillies. I can't wait to see what he's worth to that Philly team. He's going to give them a little bit of cover in that third or fourth spot where he's going to bat. He may be worth 4 to 5 wins to a team like that. You know what I mean? Because he's going to make the players a little bit. The other guys are going to get better looks, and they're decent hitters on those Phillies. But
I wonder if the Westgate has already kind of factored that in, that he might go there. So maybe if the Phillies win total is 80.5, maybe they're already putting it at 82.5. So adding a couple wins, and then if Harper signs, they'll just add like a win or two rather than adding 4 to 5 wins.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it's going to be interesting. But guys, when we come back, it's going to be Talk You Can Bet on Fifth Street Sports. We'll see you in 3 minutes.
I'm Nick Ebram. I like to have a nice smooth shave. I do have a goatee. I like to make sure the skin around it is nice and smooth. And when you're using one of those disposable razors, you never know what you're going to get. You don't get a great shave. But I tell you, I have found the solution to my shaving issues with Harry's razors. Non-slip, comfortable handle. I think these are absolutely the best. Right now, you can get a $13 value trial set. Comes with everything you need for a close, comfortable shave. Weighted ergonomic handle, a 5-blade razor with a lubricating strip, a rich lathering shave gel, a travel blade cover. You can get a $13 value trial set right now. Go to harrys.com/World Soccer. Go right now, harrys.com/World Soccer. Redeem your offer right now and let them know that I, Nick Ebers, sent you. harrys.com/World Soccer to go get your Harry's razors.
It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
Hi, Rick Tittle here. Spring is just around the corner, so now is the time to get those home projects done so you can spend spring and summer being with your loved ones. Home Advisor makes it easy to find the right pros for any project. Seriously, whether it's a small project like installing kitchen cabinets, next on my to-do list, or a big project like remodeling that kitchen, just go to homeadvisor.com and tell them about your project. In just seconds, you'll be matched with the best pros in the area for your exact job. You can read customer reviews, check availability, even book appointments online. And with their project cost guide, you can check what others paid for similar jobs in your area. No matter what home project you've been thinking about, painting, getting your gutters cleaned, even a big job like a new roof, Home Advisor makes it easy to find and hire the best pros in your area. Find a great pro now before the busy season hits. Go to homeadvisor.com or download the free app to get started.
All right, folks, get your pen and papers out. I got mine. It's Talk You Can Bet On. This is when we really get it jamming for making some dough tonight. Let's start off. Okay, I got Florida Rick, my brilliant co-host, and he's been hot. He came back again 3-1 yesterday. Brian took a little bit of a dump, 0-2. Joey 1-0. I got Joey's game. Do you want me to open up with Joey Cassano? By the way, folks, it's Joey Cassano, CASSANO.com. Joey's in on the game already. There's one I was talking to you about earlier in the game. He's going to go with Florida +7 against LSU. Guys, give this guy a call. He's really the real deal. I really like him, and I think he's got really good stuff. So there's Joey's game. What do we got there, Rick? What do we got going?
All right. Before I get into the picks, I got some breaking news here, Frank. There was a goal scored in Atletico Madrid. It's now 1-0 in the 80th minute.
You've got to be kidding me.
Nope. We scored a goal. It's probably the most exciting thing that's happened.
I mean, could you imagine? Now, I just want you to picture this nightmare, okay? Brian gets you hold of his StubHub guy, okay, and you're in Europe, and then you say, "Wow, I can't believe it! I got tickets for both of yesterday's games. You get to go from one stadium to the other one, and you get, so you think you got something, and meanwhile, 0-0, 0-0. So now you say to yourself, let me give it one more try. I know they're bound to score. It's the third game. They're bound to score. What are you thinking about after the 80th minute? I mean, are you in the stand saying to yourself, boy, I got suckered again. Another zeros, and finally there's a goal. Finally.
Yeah, I think I would be a little upset. I've only been to a couple soccer games in my life, but boy, if I had to sit there and not see one goal the entire game, I can't say I think I'd get my money's worth.
How about 3 games? How about 3 games in a row? You get punished. 3 games in a row. Wow.
But here's something funny. This is the first leg of the first knockout stage in the Champions League. So 16 teams are left. There were 8 games between last week and this week. 7 of the 8 games, the first half score ended 0-0.
Oh my God!
7 of the 8 games.
7. Can you imagine? I mean,
I couldn't make this up.
So you don't even have to go to the second half. It's not even. It's going to be the same score in the second. Just show up at halftime. So yeah, but Rick, you know what? Well, meanwhile, the first half, everybody just drinks. So by the second half, like they hope that they're so high that maybe if there's a score, but if not, at least you got drunk. But I think what we should do, Rick, is start betting these first half draws. Like plus
Can you imagine?
$1.20.
I'm really wondering what the price is on. I mean, a lot of these games were big favorites too. Real Madrid against Ajax, Barcelona against Lyon, Real Madrid against Ajax. But the only game where there was a goal was this one right here, Schalke versus Man City, and it happened to be 2-1 at the half. And I don't think they've scored in the second half as of this moment. I think it's also the 82nd minute, still 2-1. So
well, I know I got somebody in the room here hoping for no score. He's got the under 3. His was 2-1 at the half. His ticket was headed for the toilet. Meanwhile, it might be good. So, anyways, let's see a little talk you can bet on. We got Joey in on Florida +7. What's that game number here? Let me give out that game number because I just bet it as we 787.
I'll find it for you too.
787.
Yep, Florida +7.
All right, Rick, fire away,
that's
buddy.
That's a tough game. I agree with Joey's picks for the most part. I don't disagree with his pick, but I wouldn't want to be on Florida either. I just think this is a game I would personally pass on. I think LSU is really a top-notch team. They're worthy of being a top 15, maybe even a top 10 squad. Florida's just down this year. It's at LSU. The line has moved up from 5.5 to 7. So at this point, I would not take LSU. I would only take Florida or pass. And personally, I would pass, but yeah, at this number, you can only take the Gators. So that's my take on that one game, which I pretty much have no opinion on, but I would only be on the Gators at 7. But the first game I want to talk about is the big game of the night, the big game they've been talking about all week, and ESPN's been promo for this game for the last 3 weeks. It's Duke hosting North Carolina tonight. I don't know if you're aware of their plan, but obviously the biggest rivalry in the country. It's actually game number 820. And Duke's about 9 and 165. So team totals here are 87-78. Those are the 2 team totals. And
wow.
I know you typically wouldn't like a favorite and an under, but here's a situation where I actually like Duke and the under. Duke has a strong defense. Carolina's going to want to be running the ball up and down. Duke's going to get so many easy baskets and wide open threes. Carolina's not going to be in the same boat. They're not going to be getting easy layups and dunks. They're going to have to work for their points. I think Duke comes out of this game strong. I think Duke ends up winning this game easy, double digits. And I normally only like the dog in these rivalry games, especially it's Duke North Carolina rivalry. But I like Duke here laying the 9. I think there's some books still using 8.5. And I actually kind of like the under too, the 165. I think the number's just too high. I think once the teams are getting going, you're still going to see a lot of tough defense. There'll be a lot of running early, but you're going to see a lot of physical play as well. And to get a total that high in a power conference basketball game this time of the year this is too much. So I would lean to Duke and under first 2 plays because that's obviously the biggest game of the night, one of the biggest games of the year. And then they'll have a rematch in a few weeks in Carolina, and that'll be a whole different ball game because now Carolina will be the home squad, and I think that game will play a little bit differently. But we'll talk about that in 3 weeks when it comes. So yeah, give me Duke minus the 8. I'll take 8.5. I see Chris using 8.5 minus 15 and under 165. So do you have any opinion on that game, or have you?
No opinion. I mean, I hate trying to win by 10 and keeping it under, but you're all right. I mean, it is a 165. I can really see a 90 to 70 game here, so I wouldn't be opposed to that. So you like the Duke to really hammer this? I think Duke wins it all. By the way, folks, and I'm not a chalk bettor. I think when it comes to the tournament, Duke is going to win it all. This is the best team by far. When they get focused, it's going to be all over.
Yeah, I think we were talking about the other day real quick, but when you look at the top teams in the country, I really think there's only a few teams that could win the whole thing this year. And one of them being Duke, obviously being the favorite is being Duke, Gonzaga being the second one, and Kentucky being the third. I just don't see any other team being able to run the table and win 6 games. Not Tennessee, not Kansas, not North Carolina. I just don't see how anyone else can do it this year. There's going to be some, there could be some upsets. You might see another, mid-major make it all the way to the Elite 8 or possibly the Final 4. I would like to throw Virginia in that group. The problem with Virginia, as good as they are and as good defensively they are, if they get behind early, they just have a hard time ever coming back. And you saw that happen last year in the 1-for-16 game. And I know that's going to happen in one of these tournament games. I don't expect it to happen in the first round or the second round, but it may even happen in the second round. It surely will probably happen in the third round or the Elite 8 if they get that far. And once they get down, 8, 10 points, boy, they just have a hard time ever coming back. They just don't get it. They just can't get their chemistry right when they're down, and everyone starts taking bad shots and they start missing, and the other team starts even extending the lead. And I just can't ever think Virginia could win the whole thing based on that. But if you go by top teams, they would probably be the 4th team in my opinion. But they're truly just one of those 3 teams that I think can win the whole thing. But getting back to tonight's games, the game I like a lot is game 782, and that's Georgetown at home tonight against Villanova. Georgetown's getting 6. It's an early start. It's a 6:30 Eastern start for Fox Sports 1. They're doing one of their Big East doubleheaders. I think Georgetown's going to be in this game the whole way. I expect Georgetown to not necessarily win the game, but I expect them to be leading a good portion of the game. And, I do think it's worth maybe a quarter or half a unit on the money line, plus 220, plus 225. But getting 6 points here is just a lot of points, considering the way Villanova's been playing, the way Georgetown's been playing. Oklahoma Bride just sent in a pick. And this is kind of a odd pick, and I know I'm not going to agree with that. I know Joey's not going to agree with it. He takes LSU opposite Joey. Game 788 minus 7, and I see where he's coming from because LSU is so good, and he knows how good they are. But yeah, I don't even know if he knows he's been out all day. I don't know if he realizes his line's moved up from 5.5 to 7. So that being said, I'm gonna, even though he gave that out, I'm gonna retract it because I'm guessing he doesn't realize the game's moved to 1.5. And I know if he knew that,
and brother, it don't matter. I bet it already, so I'm going with Florida and Joey's pick early. So I'm not going to back off. I think Brian, if now watch this now, Rick. He's like, I don't know if you recognize, he's been on a super heater. He may be coming back to the north, maybe cooling off a little bit, but it's too late anyways. I've already bet Florida plus 7.
Yeah, and again, he just typed in the team. I promise you, he doesn't realize the line moved to 7. He probably saw it early this morning or last night. It was 5.5, and he liked it, and I liked it 5.5 too, but not at 7. But the other thing with Oklahoma Brian is his specialty is the Big 12 and those HBCU schools, small conference schools, those 6-digit game numbers. That's where he excels. So
exactly,
if he's giving out an SEC play or a Big 10 play, I would kind of listen to it, but I wouldn't necessarily fire on it, unless it was a match or one of us. Yeah, like I said, one of us agreed to it as well. So going back to some of my other picks tonight, there was a game that I loved, and I had it. Right here, game 796, Louisville Syracuse. I'm going under 131.5 or 132 in this game. The totals hovered anywhere from 131.5 to 133.5. I got it earlier in at 133.5, but I see most books are 131.5. I think there might be still a 132, 132.5 out there. In my mind, if you noticed the big conference games of late, the power conference games, they've just been crazy unders. Games went under by 20, 25, 30 points. Look at that Purdue Indiana game last night, Tennessee Vanderbilt last night. This is just happening at a crazy pace. I expect this game to mirror those games as well. This game, to me, to be a real tight defensive struggle, played in the 50s, maybe low 60s. I just don't think it can reach that total without overtime, or maybe some sort of crazy foul fest at the end where one of the teams has like a 5 to 7 point lead and they just keep fouling. So I'm going under 131.5 in that game. So
I bet that also. I bet that also. I bet that also already because during the break you gave it to me.
We got a quick score update, guys. That Manchester City Schalke game is now 3-2. So all that talk about no goals.
Whoa,
interesting, right? It's kind of weird.
Gosh, what's happening out there? This is
weird for you
Oh
guys,
my God.
Right?
And Atletico Madrid scored 2. They're up 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0.
That's you guys with all that talking.
What's going on, you guys? What is going on? Soccer
crazy,
and there's actual scores.
Day here.
So
it's like opposite day.
So Rick, okay, so because we don't have too much, we got another minute in this segment and 2 more in the other one. You got under in the Syracuse. You got Georgetown +6, Joey Florida +7, opposing Florida Oklahoma Brian. What else?
The other game I like, the more I look into it, is that game that you have, and that's the Auburn Arkansas game. It's now 150.5. You got it at 152, but it's now down to 150.5. I really like the under in that game too. The more I'm looking into this game, I think this is a game that's two high upper tempo teams, but it's not going to be played that way this time of year. And only one of the teams will probably be able to score, and that's Auburn. So I think this under 150.5 now, but especially you're under 152 is a really good bet. And that's going to be a play I'm adding to my list.
There you go, guys. Game 8-12, Auburn. Rick, you got anything else? Save it for the last 3 minutes, folks. We'll be back. We got to take a small break.
Where do you want to go on a vacation or honeymoon? The Caribbean, Europe, Hawaii, Mexico? How about Disney or a cruise? At Superior Cruise and Travel, we've got you covered. We'll assign you your own travel concierge. They'll help you design a custom vacation plan that you can't find online. And the service is completely free. You can't compare the value of this to any other online travel company. We can help you plan a custom vacation anywhere in the world. We even offer payment plans with no credit card required. Now you pay off your vacation on your time schedule. Call now and mention the promo code RADIO and save up to $500. Book your custom trip. Call Superior Cruise and Travel now and talk to one of the highest rated travel agencies in the country with a 5-star A+ online rating.
800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. That's 800-570-9631.
Attention to anyone that's written a book or wants to write a book. The process is not that complicated. Take a first step. Even if you write a page a day, you'll build momentum and your book will become a reality. The hard part is getting it published. That's when you need to call Page Publishing. They've got hundreds and hundreds of thank yous from different new authors, just like you. They make the process of publishing your new book and getting it sold online a simple process. You can learn how simple it is right now by calling for your free Page Publishing New Author Submission Kit. One quick 3-minute phone call, that's all it takes to get free information and learn how you can get your book published. Pick up your phone right now and call us 24 hours a day at this number. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. That's 800-603-0885.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517.
All right, folks, this is Fifth Street Sports on Sports Byline USA Radio Network. I'm Frank Perez, and I've had a show with my co-host, Florida Rick. We were getting to some of our talk you can bet on. Rick, if you got anything else, let's say it quick, and then we'll give a good recap, buddy.
I have one more play that I haven't given out yet, and that is game 809, Northern Iowa, getting 6 at Missouri State. I really like this game to be close in the Missouri Valley Conference, and the total's very low. I don't see Missouri State blowing them out here. I think this game's being played in the 50s, and someone's going to win this game by 2-3 points. So game 809, Northern Iowa +6.
Okay, great. So now, Rick, let's recap what we've given out today. You like 820 Duke -9. Also under in that same game, under 165. You are with 782 Georgetown +6. And you are with 785 Louisville under 132.
796, yeah.
796, right. Excuse me, 796. Now 809 Northern Iowa +6. And also 812, a game that I agree with you on, and Arkansas Auburn under 150.5, 151. Then we got 787. That's from Joey Casano, Florida +7. By the way, it's joeycasano.com. Guys, give him a try. He's the real deal. Good guy, and he'll make your money. But Brian. So Brian only came in, but let's discount Brian because I think you're right. I don't think he realized the game went to 7.
I'm sure of it. That's why I retract that play. He's not going to. He doesn't realize it.
Okay, so there you go, folks. I hope you had a pen and paper. We're giving out a lot of stuff. I believe we're going to have a really good night. I've bet them all, so I sure hope that we're 9-5 for the week. Today we got 1, 2. I think we got like six plays today. But your favorite play of the whole board is this. I can tell, Rick. It seems to be this Georgetown +6, right?
I guess if you have to put one, yeah, I guess that would probably be my favorite. But I like them all. But Georgetown would probably be number 1.
Well, there you go, folks. Rick, thanks a lot, buddy. Good show. Folks, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening. Fifth Street Sports will be back tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. We're trying to get Joey all mic'd in so he can come in on the show with us. See you tomorrow. Thanks for listening and watching.